Hello friends, I'm Dr. Rupali Endai, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Radhabai Kale Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Ahmednagar. Now, in today's lecture, we have to see part 2 from soil chemistry. In that, we want to see soil atmosphere. And guys, soil air or soil gases is the one of the component out of the 5 components of the soil. A part of soil volume that is not occupied by soil particles known as pore space. This pore space is occupied both water and air. But the volume of water varies inversely with that of air, and therefore soil contains less amount of air during monsoon because there is water content is high, while in summer soil contains maximum amount of air and less amount of water. See the approximate composition of a surface soil. It contained mineral matter 45%, 25% of water and 25% of air, while organic matter contained 5%. This soil is rich in organic matter and is in optimum condition for plant growth rate. The microorganisms constitutes a very small fraction of the total soil volume. Now see the soil aeration. The constant movement or circulation of air in the soil resulting in the renewal of its component gases and is known as soil aeration. Soil aeration or soil air is subject to the same changes that atmospheric air undergoes. There are some factors which affect on the movement of soil air, that are temperature, diffusion, wind and water. Soil air contains number of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and water vapor. The soil air contains greater proportion of carbon dioxide, lesser amount of oxygen than atmospheric air, but the amount of nitrogen gas is almost same. The relative portion of the various gases changes almost continuously, not from day to day but also from hour to hour. Now, after seeing the soil atmosphere, we want to focus on soil water. Guys, we all know soil contains water, but their capacity of absorbing and retaining water varies widely. And plant growth also depends on water, as water acts as carrier of food nutrients as well as solvent. This soil water absorbed by plants through roots and given out from leaf surface. The crop yield is also determined by the amount of water available. Soil obtains its water from rain, snow or irrigation, as well as the water is lost from the soil by evaporation. The process of weathering and soil formation also depends on water. The microorganisms in the soil also require water for their metabolic activities. Soil water is also essential for photosynthesis. Now, then we want to see some types of water. Like as the water absorbed by dry soil is known as hygroscopic water, and that adsorption of water is depend on clay or colloidal particles present in the soil, and depending on these, water is divided into 3 categories. See that 3 categories? First one is the hygroscopic water, Second one is capillary water, and third one is the gravitational water. We want to see all these categories in details. Now see the first one, hygroscopic water. We know what is the hygroscopic water? The water adsorbed by dry soil is known as hygroscopic water. And the amount of hygroscopic water depends on texture of soil, amount and nature of colloidal material, both types of colloidal material, that is organic and inorganic, as well as humidity and temperature of the atmosphere to which it is exposed. Now then we see the second type of water, that is capillary water. Molecules of capillary water are free and mobile and are present in liquid state. They are evaporates easily at ordinary temperature, though it is held firmly by soil particles. Plant roots also absorb it, and therefore this capillary water is also known as available water. Its amount in soil varies due to surface tension of water film, soil texture, soil structure, and organic matter present in the soil. Now, then see the third one, gravitational water. Due to the force of gravity acting on the soil, the water moves downward through percolation. And this water moves specially in the clay soils through cracks formed in the soil. And these cracks are formed due to shrinkage or through the channels and cavities formed by decaying plant roots, burrowing animals, insects and worms. Therefore, this water is also known as seepage water. The movement of percolation of water also depends on some factors. Now see that factors. It depends on texture of soil, it depends on structure of soil, as well as temperature, pressure and resistance offered by trapped soil air. Now here we see the three types of soil water. Now go for further, we have to focus on soil microorganisms or biological system of the soil. The soil microorganisms are a much important factor for agriculture or for maintaining the texture. The soil contains several distinct groups of microorganisms. But out of that, some are most important, like algae, fungi, bacteria, and protozoa. Different organisms are intermixed in the soil, but each organism or group of organism is responsible for specific change or specific transformation in the soil. They synthesize large number of microbial tissues and cells, which ultimately form a part of soil organic matter. Some of the products of these activities also takes part in weathering, soil formation and development. Microorganisms almost entirely depends on soil for their nutrition and growth. These microorganisms helps to maintain the balance of nature and to protect life against accumulation of dead vegetable and animal material. The activities of microorganisms are influenced by some factors like moisture, temperature, light, reaction, air, food and energy supply. These microorganisms takes part in number of processes in the soil. See some of these. They involve in the decomposition of dead organic matter. They involve in the increased plant nutrients. They produce toxins, that is growth stimulating substances. They mix soil and help in nitrogen fixation. They improve soil aeration, as well as they also cause injury to plants. Now see the next one. The method and rate of soil formation differs throughout the soil. That means we want to focus on new point, that is physical properties of soil. As a result, the soil develops layers, and these layers are called as soil horizons. Actually, there are three types of horizons, and these three major horizons include first one, that is A horizon, or we may say it as horizon A. It is the uppermost layer of soil. It is most highly developed layer and is also known as topsoil. Go for the second horizon, abbreviated or known as B horizon or horizon B. It is the second layer of soil. It is also most highly developed layer and is known as subsoil. Then we go for third, C horizon. It is lowest horizon. Its composition is similar to parent material. That means today we focus on the soil horizons and we see the three horizons, A horizon, B horizon and horizon C. Topsoil is the name for A horizon, while B horizon is also known as subsoil. The pedologist described soils by the characteristic of soil horizon and including color. The soil ranges in the color from yellow and red to dark brown and black. This color of soil helps pedologists to estimate the amount of air, water, organic material and certain elements in the soil. Soil color influences greatly the soil temperature. As we know, dark colored soil absorb more heat than light colored soil. Iron compounds are also responsible for red, yellow and brown colors of the soil. The light color of soil is due to presence of inorganic compound like silica. Now see the second one, that is texture. Texture depends on size of mineral particles. And there are three types of particles: sand, silt and clay. Out of that, sands are the largest particles, while silts are just large enough to seen, while clays are microscopic. And depending on these mineral particles, pedologists can determine the texture of soil. Now see sands. See the one picture where sand indicates large amount or largest particle. Silt particles are less than sand but larger than clay, while clay are very microscopic. Soil textures is defined as the proportionate quantity of sand, silt and clay in the mineral fraction of the soil. Therefore, pedologists divide soil into several classes according to the amount of sand, silt and clay. And it helps to determine how thoroughly water drains from the soil. And there are two main systems of naming soils according to their texture or according to their proportions or percentage of sand, silt and clay. Now see that principal textural groups. There are total 12 principal groups of soil depending on their texture. Here 1 to 12 the textural groups are there, having their percentage of sand, percentage of silt and clay percentage. Now we see some of these. If you focus on the first textural group, that is sand, sand soil contains maximum amount of sand percentage 85 to 100, while very less amount of silt and clay percentage. If you focuses on sixth textural group, that is clay soil, it contains maximum amount of clay, that is 40 to 100 percentage, and less amount of sand and silt percentage. See one more textural group, that is silt. Silt contain maximum percentage of silt and very few amount of sand and clay is present. Now see the second one. This diagram also give the idea about the percentage of sand, silt and clay. And depending on these, we can also find out the textural class. Now see the third point, soil density. And density of soil is defined as mass per unit volume. We know the average density of soil is 2.65 gram per ml. This soil density varies with degree of weathering. The soil density expressed in two terms, that is particle density and bulk density. See first one, particle density. It is average density of soil particles, not including fluid spaces or pore spaces, and is usually expressed in gram per ml. The weight of soil is usually expressed as specific gravity, while true or absolute specific gravity represents the average specific gravity of the soil particles. Apparent specific gravity is also the specific gravity of the soil particles, including pore spaces. And the particle density we can find out by using a small formula, that is weight of soil solid divided by volume of soil solid. Now then we go for bulk density. Dry weight of unit volume of soil including pore spaces is called the bulk density. It is less than particle density. It changes with change in total pore space of soil and give the knowledge of porosity of soil. Texture and structure of soil is its total pore space and organic matter contents are related to bulk density. It helps in better cultivation of crops. And we can also find out the bulk density of soil by weight of soil divided by volume of soil formula. Now, today we stop here. Thank you.